Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-League Quarterfinals here on Excellency Esports 2 stream. My name is Mac Dewey. Joining me in the casting booth is none other than Necrox, and what perfect timing, my guy, because we have Fever taking on Bucky Stratosphere. Bucky's making their way down to Mid-League from Heavy League, and they've made it to playoffs, Necrox. They're here. This is what they're playing for, and Fever wanting to push their ticket to semifinals. It is going to be a fun night of League of Legends action, a best of 5 ahead of us. Necrox, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I think Bucky's has got to be feeling great to see my face here. I tried so hard last split to get you guys to win, just couldn't have it. Fever as well, obviously a bunch of my friends want to see these guys succeed, so both these teams have a special place in my heart, and we're getting straight into picks and bans.
The Swain gonna be taken off of the board first, as Metapod's called it all the way back in pre-show. Necrox not gonna let Macro Beast get his hands on his signature pick. The Zig's gonna be taken away from Macro Beast as well, and Array not gonna be able to jungle on Xin Zhao for game 1.
Yeah, that means Nocturne is up, though, if you only ban the Xin Zhao, and of course, Fever are immediately going to pick it. Has a lot of flex potential between solo lanes and jungle. The Stridebreakers have no effect on this champion at all. Outside of the ultimate, maybe a little bit worse, but you can still click your paranoia button, get that point and click. The slow is 90% on this patch, so if you are on top of someone, they just cannot move. The response, though, from Bucky's is a lot of magic damage. You're going to pick up that Diana and Seraphine to make sure the shielding is huge to deny some of that burst.
Absolutely. Bucky's taking Xayah away from Evil Zara. Naturally, Rice Every Meal going to lose his signature Thresh, so it's going to be secondary picks for the bot lane. Evil Zara headed onto the Tristana, although it could possibly be flexed into the mid lane, though a little unlikely. Rice Every Meal gonna get his hook champion one way or another. Necrox, he's gonna be on Nautilus for game 1.
Yeah, good engage tool here. The response is the Leona. That makes a lot of sense. You have a pretty good counter pick there into the Nautilus. Really easy to proc your Aftershock. There is a way for the Nautilus to disengage Leona. She actually throws her E4 to the Zenith Blade. You pop your hook at the same time. She actually gets a bounce back, so can't land the shield at Daybreak. Pretty niche. We'll see if it actually comes into play later on into the game. But that means the Seraphine is not going support. It is going towards the mid lane. It will absolutely be in the mid lane, so the AP control mage there, unless we're seeing it AD carry, which is a possibility. With the Leona, I'm not sure I love it, but regardless, we'll see. Second phase of bans are already through. These guys are flying through.
Coming in with a game plan, Fever wanting to try to limit the tools in the top lane for Bucky's. Galio locked in, and Necrox, I gotta think, although Slim Kim has lost a lot of tools and we're gonna be seeing Stubby bring out his signature Mordekaiser that I was talking a little bit about during pre-show, is this gonna be a Seraphine in the bot lane?
It absolutely could be because of the Galio lock-in, so I guess I take it back. They're going to just send it bot lane. Now we have to think about top lane. Mordekaiser was picked up here for Fever on top side for Stubby, so he'll be piloting that one. Very good on that champion. So Bucky's really indexing on top side. Need some physical damage to make sure we can't begin magic stacking. Aatrox fits that bill. Maybe not the greatest champion, but good God, this guy's healing with Gorge Ranker just gets ridiculous. So he'll cut's going to be necessary into champions like a Seraphine, like an Aatrox. Fever going to have to pick up that Grievous Wounds. But I really like what Fever have done. It is a simple composition. You have lots of engage, lots of go buttons for yourself. And if you just are proactive and you're in river, if you're around objectives first, they can easily pull that trigger and makes fights happen, especially if they can catch out that Seraphine, that squishy backline. They could really lay on the hurt.
Exactly, and I'm kind of thinking, do they have enough damage to kind of get through this Fever composition? Yes, it's on the squishier side, but you got the Diana, the Seraphine maybe going to be dishing out a little damage, and I'm worried for Slim Kim up in this top lane matchup, Necrox. He did not handle Stubby's Mordekaiser very well during the regular season. And this is the second team all-pro top laner we're talking about. Fever are gonna be more than happy to play through him, and on a champion like Mordekaiser, I'm even thinking it's gonna be hard for Bucky's, after that level 6 point to even try to pressure Stubby if he gets ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Death Realm obviously turns any 2v1 into a 1v1 if he's far enough ahead,
Yeah.
easily dispatches with a 1, then turns it into a fair fight onto the other. Pretty rough to gank up there if you are the Diana, especially post 6. We'll see though. I have a feeling we're probably going to get a pretty scrappy mid lane. Lucian Galio. Well, you do bully out the Lucian, or excuse me, the Galio pretty early. The
Yeah.
wave clear for Galio is always just so strong. Easy to mitigate any sort of damage going off. Diana ganking though, post 6, can't get away with the relentless pursuit on the Lucian. You are going to get pulled back in. That leads into the Justice Punch, which leads into the taunt. So could be gank angle in mid lane, and I'm looking at this mid jungle for Fever to show us what they're made of. Tonight would be their first real test to see what they can do, and the
Yep.
substitution for Fever got to start paying off now, or I'm not sure when they will.
Uh, Dory was really high on Scruff coming in, excited to see the new mid laner for Fever. Naturally, his Akali taken off of the board. That was consistent as last week as well. D-Jones decided to try and take the approach of just banning out Scruff as much as they can throughout the series. He received bans constantly, at least 2 in all 3 games. Bucky's taken a little bit of a different approach, want to throw some love at Evil Czar and Rice every meal in all pro bot lane in
For
their
sure.
own right. Do you think in this matchup, Netcrox, we were talking about it during the pre-show, Evil Czar and Rice, they like to make plays during the team fighting phase throughout the early game. They're going to be looking to try to scale up and kind of just keep Evil Czar's CS numbers up, those death numbers low. How do you feel about Bucky's and their ability to try to pressure that bot lane?
Yeah, I'm not sure you can honestly do it with the Seraphine Leona. Obviously, lots of wave clear for the Seraphine in the early stages. Double Q almost deletes a wave like level 4, I think. It's pretty ridiculous. But
Yeah.
you have to be careful about an all-in effort from the Nautilus Tristana. They're going to run the Ignite. They're going to immediately jump in if they land the hook. So do need to be very wary about an all-in effort here from the Fever bot lane. And while typically they like to play safe, that's why you see this something like the Xayah band away, something like the Thresh, things that provide a lot of safety. This bot lane spells the opposite. And if
Mhm.
Fever can show us that they can win the 2v2, if they can pressure bot lane alone, that frees up your jungle to go anywhere. And if you're ganking mid, if you're ganking top and winning bot lane, all of a sudden, Array has to think, okay, I have a losing bot, I have a losing other side of the map. He's split all over the place, can't decide where he wants to
Yep.
path, and things get really dangerous. So Macro Beast, your Swain was taken away, but the Seraphine is on the board. You need to be careful, though. This isn't a damage dealer. This is a CC utility-based champion. If they try to take 2v2s, they will lose them, and that could spell doom for Bucky's in the early game.
Man, Necrox, the Fever composition kind of brings me back to that Hawkthorn CB Clockwork series we casted in Light League, where counters just kept getting ganks for him in the bot lane again and again and again. It
Yeah.
was like that Nocturne ultimate was used on cooldown. Macro Beast seriously needs to be careful. I'm a little curious what your thoughts are about this jungle matchup. Nocturne versus Diana, very meta. Who do you think has the edge in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go early skirmishing to Diana. She's really powerful. Picks up the Nasher's first item as well, so a little bit easier access there, especially if she's going to go something like the Conqueror this
Yeah.
game to stay in and really start dealing that damage over time. I'm just not sure if you can keep up with the Nocturne's pressure. I mean, this
Yeah.
ultimate is one of the best in the game for a reason. Not only is it a point and click CC lock on button, it is also chaos in communications. Your team has to somehow communicate with each other where he's going, how to deal with a threat. It becomes so
Mhm.
difficult when you're not LAN, when you're not in person, and you can just lean over and look at your teammates' screens. You have to find pings in the map, find ways to deal with it. And if Nocturne gets ahead this game, expect him to dive this Seraphine over and over again. It's going to be a nightmare. No pun intended, Mac. Just a couple seconds left, though. I'm so hype. I think both these teams have clear win conditions. It's just all about
Yep.
aggression, proactivity, setting up vision, and knocking game one out of the park.
Fever looking to back up the talk with a signature walk. Evil Zara wanting to back up his regular season numbers here in the playoffs. And Bucky's Necrocs were a long ways away from that last season in Heavy League. This is a playoff team in Mid League, and they're here to show us what they got. Ladies and gentlemen, me and Necrocs going to hop into a quick break as we get loaded up and ready to go on Summoner's Rift for game number 1 of the quarterfinals matchup. It's Fever versus Bucky's. Don't click out of that browser. We'll be back in a bit.
Let's go.
Hello, Summoners. Welcome onto the Rift for game number 1. It's Fever on the blue side, taking on Bucky. Stratosphere, the 4 and 5 seed Necrocs, going head-to-head to start off the mid-league quarterfinals. My name is Mac Dewey. We've got an exciting matchup. Comfort champions across the board. Stubby signature Mordekaiser, certainly one to watch. All pro players looking to prove that they got what it takes to pop off in the playoffs. Necrocs, I go to you, my man. Which lane are you going to be watching to start off game 1?
Fever makes me look like a fool. They took the exhaust for the Diana, for the all-in. They don't have the ignite. That immediately signals they do not want kill threat in this lane. While they still might have it with the Nautilus Tristana, exhaust cleanse does not scream, we want a 2v2 you. That means we're headed the other way, my friend. We're going to mid lane. We're going to top lane. These solo laners are now what I have my eyes on. R5 for Slim Kim on the Aatrox. You would hope he can get something done up here. We'll see what these junglers decide to start, though. Looks like Array's going to be headed towards top side. That would make sense. Obviously, you want to play towards your winning lane. And you're mad cute. Going to head the other direction towards the easy gank setup with Rice every meal on this engaged champ. So both junglers looking to get things off to an early start by heading towards their strong sides.
And I feel like there's been a lot of action in the bot lane, especially early on, Necrocs, with kind of the Nautilus-Kaisa duo that was so strong, that was just able to pick up first blood all over the place consistently throughout this season. Tristana Nautilus, a powerful duo in its own right, so can't sleep on Evil Czar and Rice every meal. He always manages to find a hook, and look, they're already in play for that level 2 advantage early on. Macro Beast and Ebon, they're having trouble time just CSing to start off the game.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough start here for the Seraphine, waiting till those abilities start coming in, and then you can start really spamming spells to start the Doran's Ring, so we'll have access to a little bit more mana. Level 2 shouldn't mean all too much. Pretty respectful positioning. The only thing that's outside of that that's interesting is Jesus taking the D shield, just trying to mitigate some of this poke, maybe just trying to stay alive against this Lucian. And Dictator Scruff, he's all in with the D blade, obviously even has the biscuits for the extra ability to cast his abilities, which makes a lot of sense when you want to dominate your lane. Can take those double tap trades pretty effectively. And you're mad cute. Skipping his red buff for now, just dropping a ward, maybe thinking about doing something. Hook in shouldn't be enough. Exhaust.
Macro Beast getting real low, but I think he's going to be able to walk away from that one, Necrocs, not needing to burn his flash. The explosive charge going to hurt him a little bit on his way out right now. Array taking Dark Harvest on the Diana. He's going to be looking for blood, and he's on the bottom side of the map as well right now, picking up an early scuttle. The ward may be spawning him out, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it actually saw him, so you're mad cute if he doesn't get the scuttle crab, looking at a double crab angle, and they're gonna fight over it.
Here we see Array getting real low. Dictator Scruff with the roam first, but it's Jesus flashing in. He's getting real low. Rights every meal with the first blood coming in for Fever. Jesus gonna get taken down as well. The mid jungle duo, the substitution for Fever, paying dividends to start playoffs off.
This is what priority does for you. It doesn't even matter about the crab. It matters about the fight, Mac Dewey. And Dictator had priority, Zara had priority, and Rice committing his flash ignite to make it happen. And Fever now getting everything they could have dreamed for. Mid-jungle both die. TP back in from Jesus Tusk to catch his wave. Dictator will be able to catch on to this one, push it out, and keep his teleport. That is massive. Double buffs to Rice doesn't feel great, but Exhaust was burned down here. So this all-in threat is now massive, and Fever, that is a great start to game 1.
And I think what's huge as well, you get a kill onto your Mad Cute, you get this Nocturne a little bit ahead, he's waiting on the recall, because the lane's going to be a little snooze fest for the time being. Scruff just going to be able to back off Bucky's, as you mentioned, Necrox, Burning Summoners, Jesus not going to have his teleport, but he is going to be hitting level 6 soon, so Scruff now able to potentially follow a play down to the bot lane, perhaps, as he's not, oh, he is going to actually teleport right back down to mid lane. All right, the Lucian not wanting to let up on any pressure. Scruff, a carry in the mid lane for Fever, feeling good right now.
Yeah, just gonna TP back mid. That's fine, honestly. Just keeping your CS differential, and now you can really start making this one hurt. Darkseal picked up for Jesus. Not sure that one's gonna get all too much value, but if you are level 6, pick up easy assist, no worry. And things for Bucky's now get pretty black and white. There isn't a lot of gray area for them now. Ignore this bot lane. Do not touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. Evil Zara has a massive advantage with the priority he can earn. Unless you get TPs from top lane to turn things around. Don't really want to do that one. And you can see Array heeding my advice here. Pathing towards top side should be able to hopefully get some vision down in this river to set up maybe for a play topside. Stubby still has his TP along with Slim Kim though. Top lane is pretty snooze. Bramble actually picked up for Stubby early on. That's probably all the Grievous Wounds you need for now. So I like that adaptation.
Yes, Slim Kim handling the top lane matchup a little bit better than he did in the regular season. Stubby on this Mordekaiser having a tough time making an impact on this lane. Right now, the Aatrox with a slight CS lead. What do you think about Array? Maybe looking for a Rift Herald play when it spawns in just a minute and a half.
Yeah, definitely could go towards Rift Herald just to try to get some cash back in the pockets of Bucky's because they lost so hard on that crab play. I think I like that better than trying to take a 5v5 at this point, so would be optimal for Array to head up there, but instead he just wants to go bot side. There is a ward on the spot side jungle though, so it does need to be wary about getting spotted out. Stubby pull back in and the jungle has arrived.
Your Mad Cute not level 6 just yet. Necrox unable to use that paranoia in, but some pressure in the top lane nevertheless. Macro Beast and Ebon going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable. No nightmares coming through, but we see the Colane not able to finish off Jesus there. He doesn't have his teleport, as we mentioned before. Necrox could be losing quite a bit of CS.
That should have been Dragon, but with a failed gank attempt topside and only a level 5 Nocturne, your Mad Cute is not in position. Jesus, there's no way he could ever help his team on this contest, but instead, due to maybe a little bit of miscalculation from Fever, they won't be able to secure this one right away. Plus, the crab is not in their favor, so that is unclearable vision. Rice here, though, he might be caught. The rest of the team has to collapse and save him.
He's got his worst nightmare coming in. You're Mad Cute looking to pick up a kill on his fellow jungler. Eatbon just gonna have to walk away from where the sun don't shine in the Bucky Stratosphere jungle. There's that dragon you were hoping for, Necrox.
Yeah, that's gonna be easy, Drake. Easy kill as well in the jungle. Rice just a bait there. Maybe getting a raised dash, that's all they needed. Shouldn't be a dive down here. Pretty hard to dive as Seraphine and Leona, so would expect them to back off that play, but beautifully done there. Rice stepping forward, understanding he has the paranoia in his back pocket. Wonderful to see the support and jungle get this synergy, even though they haven't been playing with each other all too long. Drake secured. This is going to be plate down as well. It's just a second if they want to auto that one more time, but it'll stand just for the time being. And Fever, man, they have gotten everything they want. The only win condition so far is his top lane, and Array hasn't been top once.
Tough to gang Stubby. He does have the ultimate available, and Slim Kim playing the lane very aggressively. I feel like every time we pan up to the top lane, Necrox, he is constantly shoving Stubby under turret, not wanting to really play the lane at all against the Mordekaiser that took him down quite a bit during the regular season. Stubby happy though to be the team player Fever needs right now, knows that it's not about him in this one. Scruff, Zara, and your Mad Cute taking over the game to start us off.
Yeah, honestly, that is one of the greatest characteristics about Stubby, is his ability to play for the team, not for his lane. And even on champion like the Mordekaiser, he isn't going this aggressive build, not trying to constantly take 1v1s.
Ooh,
He
wow.
immediately picks up the Bramble Vest, and Rice picks up a Flash in the jungle, and TY for a leash. This is just Fevers.
Ray looking to try to pick up the Rift Herald when Slim Kim had recalled Necrox. Both of these teams maybe a little out of sync after the 4th of July weekend, maybe not as much practice reps with each other to get ready for playoffs. Bucky's Stratosphere not starting off quarterfinals how they would have hoped.
Yeah, that is a suboptimal play from Array trying to start that one up. We were asking for him to trade it, but you can't just start it on your own. You're not allowed to do that. You start it without the priority necessary, and Array has to flash over the wall, so now Diana lacks the engage to really find the backline, the double 80 card position that Fever have built, and without that cooldown, you're never going to kill the Lucian or Tristana. So now you have to wait an extra 5 minutes to pick your fight. Fever are just running over the game. It might not be a lot of kills, but they certainly have everything you would want. They try bot lane, and Rice just walks away, so time wasted, objectives missed, and Bucky's Stratosphere coming up really short-handed in this early game.
Ruff just gonna let the culling loose in the mid lane once again. Necrox, he is CSing out of his absolute mind right now, taking full advantage of this Lucian combo. Array looking for a gank. But look at the well-timed paranoia. There's the substitute synergy Fever we're hoping to have.
That is beautifully done, honestly, by Your Mad Cute. Really good dash as well from Dictator. Shouldn't be able to get out of that one, but because Array ends up going behind Dictator, he's not able to get the pull off, which means you're not in vision. Galio can't ult. Really rough stuff. Remember, there's no flash, so that play is not easy to make at all. And with that cooldown burned, Evil Zara and Rice know this turret is just scrap at this point. They just keep bullying this thing out. Really good by Macro to keep up in CS, to be honest. Not too hard on Seraphine, to be honest, when you have these abilities. But Rift Herald are going to be popped down now, and this Lucian is going to be one rich man.
Scruff feeling himself. He does have the Gale Force completed. Now Array trying to support Jesus. That's going to be the Rift Herald crashing in. Shelly picking up a whole heck of a lot of dough as Fever approaching the 12-minute mark with almost a 3,000 gold lead.
Yeah, they are really dominating this early game. Charm bot lane.
Rice every meal getting caught under the turret. That's going to be the buster shot to try to knock back the engage. Macro Beast and Ebon, they're just trying to get some room to breathe a little bit as we get Stubby versus Slim Kim in the Death Realm. The 1v1, I think the top laner's just going to be backing off Slim Kim. Is he going to be able to survive that? Bramble Vest doing a whole heck of a lot of work. Stubby looking to drop the hammer. Flashes all over the place. Traded. Slim Kim barely able to survive.
Oh, Stubby tried to flash the second Darkened Blade. I think if he just flashes forward and says to heck with the turret shot, he actually kills, but trying to find some fancy feet there, barely misses out on a solo kill. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're playing solo lanes, that is what a Bramble Vest early can do. That was all Bramble Vest, negating the healing, negating the power of the World Ender from Slim Kim. Sad to not pick up the solo kill, sad to not find anything bot side as well. All that fighting for just a scratch on either side. 13 seconds though until second Drake. And with Macro and Evan rebasing here, just to pick up a little bit more. Not going to be able to contest unless they stay around. It's only actually Eben that recall, but turret in mid lane is gone. That is cash money for this Lucian. Highest CS in the game, plus 5 plates. Man, this guy is wealthy.
Scruff, not a worry in the world at the moment. Jesus just trying to hang on in the mid lane. He's got the plated steel caps completed, but so much damage coming out and no pressure for Bucky's really anywhere on the map. Array notably quiet throughout this start of game one.
Yeah, Ray, man, I'm having a hard time deciding why this early game has gone so bad for Array.
Yeah.
Diana out skirmishes the Nocturne in the early game, but he has taken Dark Harvest. So I'm not entirely sure if he's just looking for the one-shot late game and trying to give up as much in the early as possible. To be fair, he does have farm, but you're down 3 KP, right? Your lanes have been taking the blunt end of this early game because you're trying to just give away as much as possible. Jesus has been put on such a back foot. What is that, 50 CS down now
Yeah.
in mid? That is so rough for this matchup, and you really don't love to see it. Array, I need to see him make this late game shot calling to make amends for what's happened earlier on. Bucky's, though, certainly have the damage and CC to deal with it. It's just going to come down to, can they coordinate their efforts?
Slim Kim gonna be taking a big chunk of health out of Stubby Array on the top side of the map, but the minions are gonna be crashing in. Stubby completely safe under turret, and it's not it's 40 seconds away from the next Rift Herald. Necrox, Bucky's just hoping to pick up whatever scraps they can that's left on the map at the moment. Some mythic items getting completed across the board. Macro Beast trying to hold it down as best he can. Encore going to miss. Look at the damage coming through. Evils are going to make quick work. Scruff is here as well. Slim Kim with the teleport. Right, Meal getting low. That's 1 kill for the Aatrox. Can he make it? 2. It's a shutdown coming through for Ebon. Stubby here as well. He's got the Death Realm used here. I think he's got...
Oh gosh, my God.
Bodies around here. Array's going to absolutely one-shot Evil Zara, and disaster in the bot lane for Fever.
That is how you turn around a game. Bucky's make it happen on bot side. Everyone shows up and makes it happen. Wonderful play from Mako and Eben to stall out. Then the solar flare hits onto the Lucian under the turret. He takes up way too much, and we're gonna get one more look at it here in just a second. This is disaster for Fever. They had such a big advantage, and this completely changes the aspect. Look at the dive. Okay, here we go. Charm doesn't land. It doesn't matter. They don't have enough damage to find both members. Evan keeps himself alive. Macro dies, but that doesn't matter. Lucian gets stunned up. Rice dies originally. That's going to give a lot of extra potential to this Aatrox. Stubby tries his hardest to go into the 1v1, but Ray cleans up the back end, and Stubby cannot 1v3. Fever lose out big time there, and Bucky's have just found a way back into this game.
Man, Array importantly gets some Dark Harvest stacks, and Bucky's absolutely coming back in this one. Necrox, the gold lead now only 1.5k. Slim Kim, though, got to be careful about the dive potentially coming in. That is a dead turret. Evil Zara hopping in. Look at the healing coming out of the Gore Drinker. He is almost unkillable. The end of the world is nigh, though, for the Aatrox. Cold away. Rice every meal gonna finish it off with the depth charge in Fever. They are dominating this bottom side of the map. Dragon gonna be spawning in just over a minute. Will another play come? Rice every meal looking for a hook. Don't think it's gonna find anyone.
Yeah, they a little bit ambitious there. Slim Kim trying to stand under. That's 1 HP. The healing was a little bit atrocious, but I should get some grievous wounds. One item that I really have my eyes keyed on this game, outside of that disgusting Gore Drinker, is what Rice is building. He's picking up the Anathema's chains, ladies and gentlemen. It's 11-13. We talked about it before. This item is gross. Fully expect him to pop that on either Array or Slim Kim. They are the 2 main damage dealers in this composition. Yep. And with that being popped, the CC reduction as well, or the tenacity reduction to increase CC makes Array and Slim Kim even easier to lock down. So love this pickup from Rice. Really like to see him playing this style as well, making sure he can keep members in place. And Bucky's need to be careful now. Can't dive too deep into an 11-13 item because power creep is real.
It's going to be 2 items for Scruff on this Lucian pick before the 3rd dragon of the game. Rift Herald used on the top side of the map. Shelly making his way downtown. All members of Fever, except for Stubby, close to the dragon, but it looks like Necrox, they're just going to give this one away.
Yeah, they don't want any part of it. I think, honestly, they could have fought, but maybe Fever making the call. They need a little bit of time to reset, keep their gold up, and with Mythics completed for basically all 10 members, other than what Diana has, which is a Horizon Focus, which we won't talk about. We're going to pretend that doesn't exist.
Yeah, great.
It's big power spikes, so if they don't want to fight it, fair enough. At least they're trading for it on the other side. And guess who's getting paid again? The check has been delivered. It is straight on to Lucian. Rice re-engage.
Lands
Oh,
the hook onto Macro Beast, but there's no
okay.
follow-up quite yet. We see your Mad Cute in the area, is enraged for Paranoia. Array not going to be having any nightmares for the time being. Scruff rotating. It's potentially a 4v4. Top laners, no teleports available. Bucky's rotating as a group, looking for any stragglers in the jungle.
Yeah, don't want to do that one. Stubby is not around. He's still pushing bot side. That wave is crashing, so they are losing something. Bucky's are. For
Yep.
Slim Kim pushing
Yep.
out. Stubby not having TP, but they're looking anyway. They want it.
Here is the pick they were looking for. Paranoia. Jesus can't escape, but a huge three-man taunt coming in. Bucky's maybe gonna look to try to turn this around. Stubby trapping Jesus in the death realm. It's a 1v1 while the rest of the team, Rice every meal, looking for the re-engage. It's the hero. Bucky's knock up and the encore coming through. They're destroying the team fight. Necrox teleports interrupted. Scruff can't join the team. Evil Zara and Stubby still alive, and Slim Kim getting real low. Range advantage certainly hurts. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Bucky's.
Dictator trying to make something happen topside. He's still in the 1v1. Recall is going to be channeled, so he'll be able to get out. But what is that from Macro Beast? That encore was massive, and he's not a utility player. He's building damage. Dictator using the dash to get out of the 2v1 effort up topside as well. And that Paranoia may be a little bit overzealous. Stubby gets one in the Death Realm, but they don't have big AoE. They don't have a lot of damage without their Lucian. Make sure not to get dove here. And without Dictator able to help the team, they just don't have enough. Evil Zara only has the Kraken. He doesn't have anything else. And Macro with a big play there to make sure Bucky stays on top.
And the Executioner's calling tax paid by your Mad Cute and Evil Zara. While it does kind of impact what Macro Beast can do, he's not going Moonstone Renewer, and Slim Kim is the main one hurt by this. Array kind of unaffected, and it's a little bit of a delay on some of the 2-item spikes here. We're getting another fight in the top lane as your Mad Cute once again going in, but the taunt and the CC coming in. Array with a huge ultimate is taken down. Scruff low, but he's able to get away, but the Crescent Sweep finishes him off. It's a double kill for the Bucky's jungler. Slim Kim caught out a little bit, but the re-engage coming in. He's healing a whole heck of a lot. That's going to be Ebon stuck in the Death Realm. The Leona unable to shine there. Stubby getting quite low, gonna be able to flash away. Slim Kim looking to extend the fight. Rice every meal able to dredge line his way out for the time being, but the end of the world is soon coming. You can't prevent Ragnarok. Necrox. Jesus is on a killing spree, and Bucky's are turning around game 1.
Bucky's find their angle again. Too ambitious for the Paranoia. You need to know where Array is, or he's going to one-shot your backline. He had the angle onto Dictator, takes him down to a quarter, then finishes it off with one final Q. The Pale Cascade, not even necessary. We're gonna get one more look. Flies in, but you're onto a Galio. That's not who you want. Flash in to make the moonfall happen. And Array cleans up the kills. He will fall to Evil Zara, who has to jump away from Slim Kim, which means it's a 2v3 on the back end. Eben makes it happen. Stubby goes into Death Realm, but once he's taken the Leon into Death Realm, you're succeeding in killing nothing. Stubby has to flash out, and the chase down is always going to be there. World Ender online grants you extra move speed, and Bucky's, ladies and gentlemen, are putting on a statement in game 1 after a disastrous early beginning. They are making their way straight back in.
Fever, let's see if they're going to be giving up this next dragon easy. It's 30 seconds for the 4th dragon of the game, and potentially so point for Fever. Scruff is in the area, no teleport, but he's already in the mid lane. Your man Cute, Paranoia ready, all ultimates across the board ready to go, and Bucky's Stratosphere looking for a pick before the fight.
No, get out of this. I don't like this from Fever at all. Unless they can get a pick, I absolutely hate this. 5v5s are so difficult against this composition. They don't have enough vision control. Scuttle not even theirs. I really don't love this. I gotta be honest. Max Slim Kim over the wall wants to start things off.
Stubby getting caught down initially does have the Death Realm. That's going to be the explosive charge from Evil Zara to ward off any further engage. It's Bucky's priority around this dragon.
You gotta leave this. I really don't enjoy the 5v5. Macro Beast can hit 3 or 4 members, and that takes the team fight out completely. Array gets an easy Moonfall. Keep an eye on the Paranoia, though. If you can get onto Macro, that could change it. Solar Flare doesn't land anything. Eben, that's a big cooldown just to throw out like that, and you're mad cute. May have an angle here without the Solar Flare. Farsight used, and no one willing to start up this Drake just quite yet. Vision now cleared away. And finally, they're going to start this one up. Slim Kim here in the front lines. Rice looking for the engage.
Here we go. Can he find the dredge line to save Fever's game one? You're mad cute waiting over the wall. They got a control ward for Vision. The dredge line coming in. That's going to knock up Array, but the Dragon not getting low just yet. The fight begins. The encore lands. Bucky Stratosphere looking for the melting pot. Array looking to take down everyone. Stubby gets the first kill onto the Diana. You're mad cute looking to try to finish off the Dragon. Is going to be able to get it. Jesus gets taken down. The Nocturne is gone. Dragon going to be going over to Bucky's own. Slim Kim wants to keep the fight going. The Aatrox in the middle of everyone. The healing coming through. Evil Zara and Scruff, though, they're carrying the fight. It's only the bot lane for Bucky's to try to pull this one off. Macro Beast standing alone. He's got 1 kill. He's stuck in the middle of a 2v1. Stubby a little low, but he does have the enhanced stats from feasting on Array in the Death Realm. Macro Beast gonna have to try to pull some fancy footwork to pull this one off. It's only a Seraphine, though. The hammer's getting dropped. The E is going to miss. Scruff dashing in, double gun, and he's on a rampage.
Okay, finally, they finish up the fight, but man, was that rough. Man, you're mad cute, ulting into the backline, immediately exhausted. That's so rough. We're gonna get one more look. Dredgeline, maybe a little bit early here. Excuse me, that depth charge goes a little bit early. Massive charm hit Zara, immediately cleanse that away, no problem. Exhaust onto the Nocturne, though, means Macro stays alive. Fear goes through, but it doesn't matter. Jesus, a little bit overextended there, but we won't worry about that one. Slim Kim tries to turn this around, ends up taking out Zara in the midst of everyone who had nothing left. But Stubby putting his body on the line, proccing that Grievous wounds at every turn. And guess who it is? The man with the money in the mid lane. It's Dictator Scruff cleaning up the fight. Love to see it. Fever give up the Dragon, but they claim the fight. This game is on a knife's edge.
And I wonder if the itemization shifts are going to come through for Fever. We're talking about potentially 4 Mountain Drakes stacking up for Bucky's, as during that last fight, they're able to even up the Dragon score. Both teams 2 Dragons apiece, as Baron very much on the table. But Necrox, I think we kind of saw what Bucky's composition is truly kind of like their weakness. They don't take objectives very well. They don't have the ADC to really burn down the high health of Dragon and Baron, and while Fever, they've got 2 of them to try to make it work.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not too big of a deal because eventually you'll burn down the objectives, but the biggest thing is you're just waiting for someone to miss position. If you're Fever, all it takes is 1 member in the wrong spot and you get the dive necessary. So may not mean the biggest of issues for Bucky's without having an AD carry to burn it down, but you certainly need an angle, and Dictator is just gone.
He is caught out. Array, the prediction on the flash. He's going to double dash. He's going to try to flash onto him. Shut down going over to the Bucky's jungler. Do you think that's going to be able to turn into an objective? I don't think so.
Yeah, again, no AD carry, so they don't do those objectives quite quickly. Drake is a much easier time to take if you're Bucky's than a Baron. But Evil Zara, he is the turret taker himself on this Tristana. You leave him alone for 1 second with his turret and it is gone, easily pressuring that at a numbers disadvantage. So Fever understand that they don't have to worry all too much. He has the cleanse in just a second as well. So even if they try to pull the engage, cleanse, rocket jump away if necessary. And this is where Bucky's need to really start thinking about pulling the trigger. You can't let the siege happen without any consequences. They're not getting the top turret. They're not getting the wave push bot. They're just losing out naturally to Fever's double ADC comp.
Look at how strong, though, Array has gotten since that early game. Started off a little rough for this Diana, but he's got 3 items, and Fever next. They're trying to pull the trigger on Baron.
That is such a call from Fever. They've caught the confidence, but It's Bucky sniffing it out, and they're going to force him off. You're cute about half. Didn't want to go down. Jungler dead means no smite. Means objective would be Bucky's to take. So smart way there to back that one off. 56 seconds, though, Mac, on this next dragon. Soul point to either team in game 1. Both these teams tied up at dragons. Huge carries for Fever, hitting big breakpoints. 3 items for Dictator Scruff, 2 and some armor pen plus a grievous wounds for Zara. Array though, he can one-shot anyone he looks at. 3 items on himself. Jesus has a Thornmail as well. This is gonna get bloody really fast. Keep your eyes on the Paranoia. Keep your eyes on Array, and this fight is anyone's to take.
Dragon now 30 seconds away. Bucky, Stratosphere going to be the first team in that bottom river. Scruff right now, teleport available. Necrox in the top lane as he's going to be pressuring the side lanes right now. Difficult macro decisions. Let's see if Macro Beast is able to help out Bucky's here.
Yeah, they need to respond. Honestly, topside. Dictator can push this one in. Does have TP, so could give this one up for a turret, but I think he's probably going to teleport in. Drake has started. Cute might go over for a steal if they want it. It's 4v5. Dictator has to TP. Are they going to do it? That's going to
be the ward, the vision. Dragon getting real low. Array with the secure. Scruff taking a turret. He's going to be pressuring that inhibitor, but recall's already coming through. Slimkim going to use his teleport.
They're pinging Baron. Fever wants something here, but Evan is on the chase. Dictator, you gotta be real careful. The whole squad is rolling up top lane. They want this Lucian. Can't get him though. Q from Array doesn't connect on the Krugs, and it's a chase on the Dictator, but it's a race for the Baron. Here comes Paranoia. Here comes TP.
A fight in the top lane for the ages right now. Fever with the numbers advantage. Here goes your Mad Q. Ebon cut in the middle of everyone. Array stuck in the death realm. Jesus gonna be trying to pull off the hero play. Macro Beast is not here. Necrox and Fever are sweeping through the top lane. A 3-man encore isn't gonna be a good enough song to pull through. Fever get a double kill onto Stubby. That's absolutely huge. They're gonna be making their move over to Baron.
No man left behind here for Fever. Dictator was in trouble. They commit Paranoia, they commit TP, and they save their Lucian. The man in the mid lane, the substitution for Fever, coming out huge in that fight. Massive damage with the culling, and with that 3 members wiped away, Bucky's no shot at this Baron, and Fever with this finishing blow should be able to clean out the game. What a Soul point, and just look for the fight. Confidence in the shot call here from Fever, and that's what wins you games. Now 5-man wearing purple, and Fever looking to make it happen.
To 9,000, looking at the replay to see what happened here. Array again unable to get a solid moonfall in on the backline. Jesus gets obliterated by these ADCs. Necrox and Macro Beast just a little late to the party.
Yeah, Stubby on Array the entire time, throws him into Death Realm, so there's no threat for Zara and Dictator Scruff. They're able to free fire. Doesn't matter if they land a little bit of charm here, a little bit of taunt there. They have enough to survive through it. And these 2 ADCs are massive. 3 items for Zara, 4 items for Dictator Scruff, plus the Infinity Edge. Grievous wounds for both of them, and the siege is gonna hurt. Fever now just need to knock down a few more turrets and look to open up this base. Dictator still has his teleport, by the way. Array is headed topside, maybe thinking about making an angle on this Lucian. If they can pick him, that would be big, but he's smelling it out. Backs away and lets the siege happen bot side instead.
The patient play coming through. Necrox, we're in the end game now as Slimkim is getting obliterated. The Paranoia gonna come in. That's gonna be a kill onto the Bucky's top laner. Fever about to open up the base.
That is damage from Zara. This guy's a monster right now. He cannot be stopped, and the base attempt can't be either. That turret is gone, and 5v4 in the base now with Baron buff. Fever looking to take game 1 of the quarterfinals. Last push coming in. Dictator's taking in top wave. They're going to take all 3. I think Bucky's have to draw the line somewhere. You can't give up 3 inhibitors.
But they're not going to be able to contest whatsoever. Necrox. Rice gonna miss the flash or dredge line. Fever getting everything they want. Evil Zara, late game Tristana able to fire the artillery from so far away. That's one Nexus turret fall. Bucky's, you gotta stand at some point. Fever, they're just gonna blitz the Nexus. That's gonna be game one, going over to Fever.
And Bucky's Stratosphere couldn't hold the line when it mattered the most, but Fever with one macro call and it outright. Sure, there's an attempt maybe there to hold the line at the end. Maybe there's a 4v5 fight to be had waiting for Slim to revive. But it doesn't matter. Fever give up Drake, make the teleport play topside, and that determines game one. Confidence, confidence, confidence. And it comes back to what I said earlier, proactivity.
Yep.
Love to see it from Fever in game one. Bucky's need to get back on their throne and need to continue to pressure Fever like they did in that mid game.
The Fever's Gambit ends up pulling out a huge comeback victory there after a back and forth game number one. They were looking a little behind. The fights were kind of consistently going in the favor of Bucky's, even though they were close. The dragon fight, I remember Necrox, really close, really even. I think it did end up kind of being a 5-for-3 in favor of Fever, but it was Bucky's with the dragon. Bucky's finding ways to even things up and keep things really close. They were so close to the Mountain Soul, but they couldn't pull it out. The Nocturne, a huge, I think, game-changing play, engage tool that Fever utilized beautifully, as well as the Marksman getting everything they wanted in game one. Necrox, before we get into game two, what are you thinking some adjustments we might see in the draft?
Yeah, adjustments. Macro Beast can continue his mages, can continue his spree with these AP carries, but they need consistent damage. Looking at the damage chart, Slim Kim is at the top for his team, but still behind the double 80 carries, obviously, from Fever. Outside of that, it's 14,000 from Macro and Array. They're both burst champs. They don't do enough damage to take down the front line. Subby is just too big. Rice, Nocturne, doing just 100 more damage than the Nautilus that game, but I tell you, those ultimates are critical. Expect that one to either be picked or banned away. Get some consistent damage, and maybe Bucky's can turn some of these fights around, but Fever are looking good going into game two.
That's going to do it for us for game number one. We're going to hop into a quick break as we get game number two set up and ready to go. Don't click out of that browser. We'll be back in just a sec.